my name is Akshat and I'm a rising freshman going to Westwood High School. For my starter project, I made the useless machine, which is a box that literally turns itself off. While making the machine, I got confident soldering, and it really helped me while I was making my main project. For my main project, I made the self-lacing shoes, which automatically tightens the laces of the shoe as soon as you step into them. I chose this project because I really like the idea of the shoe that Marty McFly wore in Back to the Future 2, but I didn't like the way they looked or that you actually had to press a button to tighten the shoes. So the way my shoes work is that there's a big force sensor in the heel of the shoe. So there's a force sensor in the heel of the shoe. When you step into the shoe, the force sensor activates and it reads the force of the shoe and it starts tightening the laces. A force sensor is a force-sensitive resistor that has a high resistance value when there's no force applied to it, and as force gets applied to it, the resistance value decreases, allowing current to flow through it. So the way the laces stop tightening is there's another force sensor on the tongue of the shoe. So when the laces tighten, the tongue gets closer and closer to the foot, and when the tongue is close enough, the force sensor feels the force of the shoe, of the foot, and then automatically stops the laces. I've also made a state machine in my code that makes sure that I won't accidentally loosen or tighten the laces when I'm stepping into them. To loosen the shoes, I press the green button, which turns the servos in the opposite direction of which they were originally turning in. This is the self-lacing part of the shoe. The shoe also acts as a pedometer, as every time you step into it, it counts a step and adds it to the value. So the most challenging part of this entire project was the electrical wiring, because while I was making this PCB, there was multiple instances where two wires were connected and would just short everything out, and the Arduino wouldn't work and nothing would happen. And there was also this one time where I accidentally connected the 5-volt of the servo to the negative side, and it started smoking up the servos and almost blew everything up. So after my next modifications for the shoe are to make all the components, like the servos, the PCB, and the battery, into the cardboard sole that I designed. So it would all go into the sole and then go into that. Also, I would like to make the connection wireless so that I could have an app that made it easier to loosen the laces. Instead of this physical button, I would just have it on the app so that I wouldn't need to bend down and loosen the laces. So overall, I really enjoyed Bluestamp because this project was really fun to do, because there was easy parts to do it, but there was like some other challenging parts that made me really think about what I was doing and why I was doing it. And also, whenever I needed help, I always turned to the instructors, but Bluestamp taught me that I should look at it first, because the Bluestamp always rejected my questions, and so it really taught me that I should always research first, and the last thing I should do was ask for help. Thank you. Any questions?
So is the pedometer also done by the force sensor?
Yes. So every time you step into the shoe, it adds a step. Any other questions?
You also mentioned you used the state machine. Can you explain some more about how your state machine worked?
Oh, so like Sebastian's state machine, when it would make sure that there wouldn't be like, the state would change from 1 to 2, and it wouldn't change back from 2 to 1. So that made sure that if the force sensor on the tongue already stopped the laces from tightening, I wouldn't accidentally trigger this force sensor and start to tighten the laces again. So that really helped with not accidentally tightening the laces or loosening them. Any other questions?
Do you have like some safety thresholds and maintaining. Say if you have something, the sensor get wrong sense, just keep tightening, you have it somewhere, so just stop. Like a
So,
safety concern.
yes and no. I don't actually have that, but the servos won't tighten after a certain like they won't move after the laces are the tightest they can be. So in the code I actually don't have it, but that's just the physical part of the sheet.
Okay. You see how tight will be any threshold you set in your code or just? Okay.
All right, thank you, Akshat.